Listen to this podcast now
on the Red Apple Podcast Network. The Idea Gen Global Podcast with George Sifakis.
I'm George Sifakis. In a world overflowing with noise, there is one forum where the world's smartest voices connect, where visionaries sit at the same table as innovators, and great minds don't just talk, they act.
Download all of Red Apple Media's podcasts right now through your favorite podcast platform.
Everyone wants the Emirates NBA Cup.
And things are heating up.
30 teams started. Bang! But only 8 have advanced to the single elimination knockout rounds. To survive, they'll have to be hungry, relentless, ruthless.
Are you kidding me?
They all want the cup, but only one team can claim it. Who will capture the cup? Emirates NBA Cup knockout rounds begin December 9th on Prime.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And it's such a great honor to be here with you folks today on the Wednesday edition. Dominic Carter here with you. Let's go ahead and open up the phone lines, 800-848-9222. Starting a little different today, I want to wish a very, very happy birthday to a special person. Her name is Sherry Stein, retired NYPD. She's one of the folks that I turn to, a very, very good friend. And today is actually her birthday, December 3rd. And Sherry, I really hope that you enjoy it. And I hope your mom is well, and I hope you're doing well, and make this your special day, young lady, because you deserve it. She's a strong Trump supporter, and Sherry and I, we share that in common. So let's get to it. And again, happy birthday to Sherry Stein, retired NYPD officer. Out you go. Out you go, and rightfully so. The Trump administration fires 8 immigration judges. And President Trump has also had it with Ilhan Omar, the congresswoman. And it's interesting because you may say, Dominic, is not politically correct, but everything the president has said about her in the last 12 hours is accurate as far as I'm concerned. I want to hear what you folks have to say. So first, let's turn to WCBS TV here in New York City, and we see all your calls coming in right now, 800-848-9222. As I said, out you go. 8 immigration judges fired by the Trump administration.
CBS New York has now confirmed the Trump administration fired 8 immigration judges here in the city. The National Association of Immigration Judges says they were fired yesterday from the immigration court offices at 26 Federal Plaza. That building is where ICE has its New York City headquarters, immigration court, and where detainees have been held. The firings come after dozens of immigration judges across the country have been let go since January.
And if you're not with the agenda of the administration that's in power, that's the way it should be. You bring in your own people. Out you go. Yes, the judiciary has to have some form of independence, but these judges are just, what's the best way to say this? Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs in terms of going against the Trump agenda. So I support this move wholeheartedly. You know who seems like all of a sudden they don't want a piece at all of President Trump? Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. President Trump blasting her, and a reporter caught up with the Congresswoman, and the questions he asked were appropriate to the Congresswoman. This is the way the interaction went down between the two, reporter and Congresswoman Ilhan Omar.
Congresswoman, do you agree with President Trump's assumption that you married your brother to get citizenship? Have you begun packing your bags for Somalia yet, Congresswoman Omar?
Not going anywhere.
So you're not?
No, don't waste your energy on me.
Do you have a message for President Trump?
I will be here probably longer than Trump.
Wait, do you have a message for President Trump?
I am like a quarter of his age.
Do you have anything else you'd like to say to him?
He's an old man losing his mind. I don't know why he's obsessed with me.
Interesting. Well, thank you, Congresswoman.
Yeah, I hope he gets help.
Thank you.
Now, I just want you folks to think about what this woman just said. She referred to the President of the United States as an old man losing his mind and I hope he gets some help. Where is the respect? Where is the decorum? Now, one could say that the president started it, but he's been turning the other cheek from Ilhan Omar for how long? Months? His entire tenure that he's been back in office. And if you haven't heard yet, boy, did the president tee off on her. Take a listen to what he actually said.
Which is barely a country. They have no anything. They just run around killing each other. There's no structure. And when I see somebody like Ilhan Omar, who I don't know at all, but I always watch her for years. I've watched her complain about our Constitution, how she's being treated badly. Our Constitution, the United States of America, is a bad place. Hates everybody, hates Jewish people, hates everybody. And I think she's an incompetent person. She's a real terrible person. But when I watch what is happening in Minnesota, the land of 1,000 lakes, or however many lakes they have, they got a lot of lakes. But this beautiful place, and I see these people ripping it off. And now I'm understanding, and you're going to look at that's good. I hear they ripped off Somalians, ripped off that state for billions of dollars, billions, every year, billions of dollars, and they contribute nothing. The welfare is like 88%. They contribute nothing. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you, okay? Somebody would say, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country. Their country's no good for a reason. Their country stinks, and we don't want them in our country. I could say that about other countries, too. I can say it about other countries, too. We don't want them to hell. We have to rebuild our country. Our country's at a tipping point. We could go bad. We're at a tipping point.
And we are, Mr. President. We are in tipping point. But I thank the Lord that you were elected and you're turning this thing around. Dominic Carter here with you, 800-848-9222. I want to get to your phone calls, but I'm thinking about, oh, boy. Mom Donnie has the nerve. We'll start with your calls in just 1 second. This guy, the next mayor of New York, says deporting criminal aliens does not make our system better. This is the incoming mayor.
When I met with the president, I made very clear that these kinds of raids are cruel and inhumane, that they are raids that do nothing to serve the interests of public safety, and that my responsibility is to be the mayor to each and every person that calls this city their home. And that includes millions of immigrants, of which I am one.
So in other words, he's telling you that he's not going to represent you and I. He's going to represent the interests of how he got elected. Let's start with your telephone calls. Line 3, William, upstate New York. William, what's on your mind? William, one more time, and I'm moving on. Please go ahead. Okay, so William is making the mistake of listening to air, in which is a delay, instead of listening to the phone, so he just missed this slot. Please, folks, you have to listen to the phone, not to the radio, because there's a 30 to 40 second delay for to be honest with you, folks, for those that are nutty, that will say something outrageous that we can simply dump your comment. Let's go to line 2, Judith in Brooklyn. Judith, what's on your mind?
Dominic, you had a caller yesterday called Ellis. Do you remember him right before the end of the show? And he was very disgruntled with ABC, and he singled out John Catsimatidis. And you on Sunday, I was doing my laundry, and all of a sudden I hear you on a promo, like a commentary. I stopped in my tracks. I said, oh, my God, that is a very powerful commentary, okay? You say a lot. This was regard to Sliwa, all right? Do you remember that promo?
I don't, to be honest with you, Judith, because Chris Libertini, who is the guy is a genius and he never rests. He's the guy that records all these things and comes up with the ideas. And oftentimes I don't hear the promos until they're actually on the air. And so I don't recall it, but go right ahead, please.
Okay, it was very powerful. But Ellis was very disgruntled. So first of all, I want to say, it's very important. Like, I heard someone say this. there are three things, Dominic, that are our worst enemies, and they are would have, should have, and could have.
Correct.
And there are four words that are the most difficult for all of us to say, and that is, I made a mistake. So, Sliwa, if he would have, and he should have dropped out 3 weeks at least before November 4th, New York could have a normal mayor better than this communist radical sympathizer, whatever. And Curtis Sliwa should say, I made a mistake, okay? Because he is considered a spoiler. I want to tell Ellis and anyone else who's listening, okay, timing is everything. And I think that WABC bent over backwards to give Sliwa every chance he got. And they were waiting to see how the polls were going, because this race was a very, live or die kind of race, okay? It was a difficult race, very difficult to figure out strategy. You were the one that kept saying, oh, long, he has no chance. You were right. But, we kept giving him a chance. ABC kept giving him. And John Catsimatidis, I want people to know, when Sliwa had to have a very difficult surgery, this is when he was dating Nancy before he's married, John paid $200,000 at Columbia Hospital for that surgery. So for anyone to say that John Catsimatidis threw him under, if anyone, it's Sliwa, as far as I'm concerned, threw New York and all of us under the bus, okay? He should have gracefully stepped out. He should have allowed and said, let's band together, because guess what? You were right. On your promo, you said there was a 2-point difference, but you felt that if Sliwa would have backed out and gracefully band together, Cuomo, and everyone says it, Cuomo probably could have made it, because all he did was bash Cuomo. And you on your own show kept giving Curtis, you're the only one, I think, more or less, kept giving Curtis a chance for interviews. And I myself spoke to him twice, and I wasn't satisfied with the answers. And I kept saying, why are you not going after Mendami? Why, And everyone said he was
Judith, let me just say this. As a rule of thumb, I'm done talking about Mr. Sliwa and that campaign. That's what he wants. He wants to keep it in everybody's mind so that I've already said too much. I'm done. Okay, we're all going to pay for this. I did everything in my power to help Mr. Sliwa. I begged him not to run. For weeks, I begged people, you listeners, to donate money so that he could do television commercials. And sure enough, he was able to do television commercials this time around. But I to be honest with you, I stood my ground against Sid, because Sid wanted me to talk up Curtis, and I refused to do it in terms of something that wasn't true. And that's when me and Sid got into it. But Sid is my man. I've said all I can say. History is now going to judge this. As far as the race, it's not looking good. You can pick up the articles in conservative outlets, what they are saying, not me, what they are saying. Fox News Channel and the New York Post. I'm just about folks not being paid in the campaign and on and on and on. I'm just going to leave it at that. And Judith, because I absolutely love you, this is the last time I'm going to say anything about Curtis Sliwa and that race for mayor. I did everything I could humanly do. These people that call up, they don't know what they're talking about. They're absolutely nuts. And that's why, frankly, Judith, that's why I took the call yesterday. I give people rope for them to hang themselves. And that's exactly what that caller did yesterday. Judith, I got to take a break. Thank you, as always, for your wonderful calls. But again, Judith, was the final time that I am going to discuss anything as it relates to that candidate in the race for mayor. It's over. We're moving forward. We're now dealing with Mamdani as the mayor of New York City. God help us all.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And it is back to the phones we go. Folks, if you're trying to reach us, just try and be patient. Just in about a minute or so, hit redial, and perhaps it'll go through. I try to get as many different calls on the air as we can. Let's see here. Let's go to Marco, line 2 in New Jersey. Marco, what's on your mind?
Hey, Mr. Dominic, Yeah, so the MAGA clowns think that by the deportation of illegal immigrants, that their health insurance premiums are going to go down, their car insurance
Marco, why do you call me with these borderline hateful comments? It's like you're not being a hateful person, but obviously you hate Trump, and you're trying to mask it that you're trying to be objective. Why do you do that?
I used to like Trump in 2016, but after that, things changed with me. But also, one final thing, Mr. Dominic, you mentioned about your daughter is a spokesperson for an Ivy League school.
Right. Let's not bring. No. Let's lose that call. I bring up my child. Don't bring up my child. Please don't do that. And do me a favor, Marco. Stop calling the show. Stop calling the show, because your comments are really starting to get borderline. And do not bring up my child.
Dominic is done with you.
Let's go to Dan, line 3 in Connecticut. Dan, what's on your mind?
Hey, Dominic. Thanks for taking my call. Regards to immigration and stuff, the problem with people like Elon Omar and people who come to this country illegally is the first thing that happens is they feel a sense of entitlement to our country, our resources, and our welfare system. And it was so easy for them to come here, so they don't feel any sense of gratitude. I'm not going to contribute. I'm just going to complain.
And take. It's like
It's like you have a cousin who's out of work and you let him sleep on your couch, and then he starts being like, "Oh, you don't have enough food here. Like, it's not clean." And not doing anything, just complaining and taking.
Oh boy, Dan, you're taking me down a road that I don't want to go back to. But Dan, a quick story here. You mentioned that type of situation. You know, I had she'll remain nameless. I had a cousin that I was trying to help that was staying with us, and my wife and I getting up, going to work each and every day, and we'd come home and the dishes were still in the sink. And so one day I came home, and, you know, I haven't talked to her since then. I said, you got to go. You have to get out now. We would literally go to work, come back home, and the dishes are still there. Now, does that sound like it's right to you, Dan, if you don't have a job and you're living off of me and my wife?
No, absolutely not. And that's my point. It's the same as having this great exclusive nightclub that everyone loves, but you have no bouncers at the door. So just let in whoever, cause whatever chaos you want.
Right. And I just want to go back to thank you for the call, Dan. Wonderful call. Because a couple of points I want to make, and I'm short on time here. So we had a discussion early this morning about food stamps, entitlement, and Helen, who's a great listener, she's a wonderful person, a great heart, but she's very sensitive on the topic of food stamps. She doesn't want people receiving food stamps to be questioned. And she said, these people have paid taxes. And it's like, Helen, I love you, but what planet are you on? These are people that are dependency from one generation to the next. Many have never paid a dime in taxes. And I said, why, when you go to the supermarket, do you have to buy Haagen-Dazs ice cream as opposed to the brand name ice cream? And you know why, folks, because you and I are paying for it and they are not. We're coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And again, I want to wish retired NYPD Officer Sherry Stein a wonderful birthday. Today is her birthday. Young lady, I hope you do something to make yourself feel good, to make yourself feel wonderful. You step up. You've stepped up for years to help others. And I can't begin to thank you enough for what you do for others, and in particular, being a sounding board for me as well. Folks, this holiday season, help the Red Apple Audio Networks feed those in need. Go to redappleaudionetworks.com/turkey. Join Red Apple Audio Networks, AARP, New York City, the Police Athletic League, Gristedes and D'Agostino's supermarkets, and nationwide imaging services as we deliver holiday meals. Christmas is right around the corner. To more than 5,000 families across the city. Go to redappleaudionetwork.com/turkey. That's redappleaudionetwork.com/turkey. I just want to make this point. Marco from New Jersey made his point and then wanted to go into my daughter. Folks, I'm a big boy. I'm a public figure. I signed up for this. I can take it. My wife didn't sign up for this, Marilyn. She's a very private person. And I thought about having her come on the air with me recently. But she's a very, very private person. She wants nothing to do with any of this stuff. She listens, but she's a private person. My daughter is a private person, even though my daughter is very much like her father. She was a television reporter for a number of years. And there's a reason why I didn't say which Ivy League school that she works at. And because, folks, the truth is there are some nuts out here. And Marco sounded like one in New Jersey. And, you know, let's not forget what happened to Charlie Kirk, okay? So I'm in the business of politics. I'm in the business of entertainment. I do this each and every day. I'm out there in the public arena. But please, please do not bring up my children, because I will get deadly serious on you and shut you down. There are some callers that have the liberty to do that. Sandra, Judith, Liz in Florida, because I know them and I know their heart. Marco, I don't know you from a hole in the wall. Don't bring up my family. Don't do it. Would you like it in a public forum if I brought up your family? Of course you wouldn't. Let's go back to your telephone calls. Let's go to Tommy in New Jersey, line 1. Tommy, what's on your mind?
Hey, what's up, Dominic? I just want to say, you know, masculinity has gone in these United States. You know what I'm saying? We've raised an era of soy boys. We've raised an era of people who are arrogant, who don't care about our society, don't give a hoot about our America. Embrace our culture, embrace our heritage, embrace our flag, and united we stand. They're just about themselves, and I don't know. We have to really seriously reconsider what we're doing with our youth in this country.
You're right.
Obviously, come to some terms.
You're right. You are correct, Tommy. I want you to explain this to me. I understand the arguments, right? I get it. But why can't we say Christmas anymore? I don't get it. What? I mean, we can say Kwanzaa, but we can't say Christmas? I don't get it. You can't put up an American flag at your home? I don't understand, Tommy. Tell me what has happened to America.
Dominic, from my standpoint, I'm going to tell you something. I'm a reformed bad guy. And I got home
That's okay. In 2010. That's okay. Go ahead. You got home. Listen. We all make mistakes in life. As I say constantly, the question is, do you get back up? And you're acknowledging that you've made mistakes, and I give you enormous credit for that. Go ahead.
Dominic, I now run a $500 million construction company. I own my own 3 houses. My wife and I have a beauty parlor. I have to be honest with you, though, when I came home, and actually it was 2012 or 2013, I saw a change in America. I don't know what happened. It went from, embracing each other and loving each other and loving humanity into like a world that was oblivious to any feelings and it pained me to actually, when I came back on the streets, to see such disdain and animosity for a country that is so generous to even an ex-convict like me, to allow me, the ability to get back on my feet. And, and this country has given me so much. I don't understand how people can deny America's the greatest place in God's green earth to live.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, Tommy, man, I got a lot of respect for you. I appreciate what you just said, and you keep doing what you're doing. Thank you very much for the wonderful call. I'm going to go to JR in Westchester. And so, a topic in my personal life that's very, very sensitive to me and to my wife happens to be our son, right? And our son, he's 5 times the man that I'll ever be. He has epilepsy. And he has a learning disability. And we were told that he would never graduate from high school. Of course, he graduated from high school, went on and earned 2 college degrees. And, he's doing well. So my wife, Marilyn, just wrote, and this is very emotional for us. Because if you have children that are special needs, you know that it could tear at the marriage. It could tear at the relationship. The medical treatment for your child. You're trying to do the best you can for your child. So my wife just wrote a kid's book, and I'm proud of her because she dealt with topics that are very, very difficult in the Carter household, which is our son and epilepsy and learning disabilities. And, I'm out there on the public front. My wife is the one that, did all the tutoring, did all the hours, all these different agencies, getting him services and so on. And so she titled the book, and it's just getting traction right now. I got to make sure I make sure I get this right. A Star Among Stars. And it's to make kids that have learning disabilities and epilepsy know that they matter too. People with epilepsy, you matter too. And our son is now in his 30s, and it's tough when you have a special needs child. And so, the public never saw that side of my life. So when you start bringing up my family, the game is over. I don't find it funny, and I am going to strike out at you. So please don't do that. As a matter of fact, Marco, I don't think I'm ever going to take your call again. So you have to change your name and come up with a different number. That's how much you just rubbed me the wrong way. Let's see here. Let's go to let me say one other point, folks. Oh. This is why sometimes I worry about talk radio. There's one person that's been calling with the same point every day for a month. I'm not going to say the subject because I don't want to offend the person. I don't want to say their name. Folks, if you've been calling every day for a month on the same topic and I haven't taken your calls, it should tell you that I'm not interested in having that discussion with you. And it reaches a certain point when I say, this person, their behavior is borderline nutty. So I'm just making the point there. Let's see here. Let's go to Al in Brooklyn, line 1. Al, what's on your mind?
Hey, what's happening, Dominic? Real quick, I'm in Manhattan right now. I'm driving Uber, and I'm parked at a light. I'm in dead traffic. I'm watching all the e-bikes pass me in these green bicycle paths.
Dangerous.
And they're really moving like 20 to 25 miles an hour. You only got about 32 inches of road. And what the problem I see is, now, the people get blasted. I witnessed a woman get blasted by an e-bike. And I'm saying, now you got this Madani mayor going to add 300 more bus routes throughout the city, but they're not addressing the danger of the e-bikes. Now, if you got DoorDash, Uber, and all these Eats place, got these guys delivering the food, they should be responsible to have these bikes registered and have some kind of liability insurance.
You're correct. Everything you're stating, Al, makes a whole lot of sense, but we're living in a different world. We're living in a world where government leaders carve up streets of the city of New York for bike lanes. Traffic was, I believe it started with Bloomberg. The goal is to, for less people to travel in New York City. I get it. But major thoroughfares, 34th Street, 42nd Street, one lane of traffic, and the other is a bus lane. Why would you do that? Why? I agree with you on the bikes. I don't care what anyone says. It's dangerous. It's reckless. We're no longer talking about recreational bikes. We're talking about electric bikes that go very fast, where there have been serious repercussions when people are hit. Al, thank you for that wonderful call. Let's see here. Let's go to Jay. It's Staten Island, line 2. Jay, what's on your mind?
Hey, how you doing, Dominic? I haven't been listening to you too long, but a little bit. I'm a conservative. I love Trump. But my question to you is, what could we expect from the first year of the Mondami administration?
Okay, so let's break it down, Jay. What exactly are you focusing on? What exactly do you want me to answer? I want to hear from you.
Yeah, I'm from Canada originally, and everything, it's socialism there. But there is nothing that is free in this world.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So,
nothing is free.
Somebody's going to pay for this.
Unless you get food stamps, and that's free. And of course, I'm being sarcastic because it's not free. We, the taxpayers, pay for it. And so, I was discussing, as I said, and I love Helen. She, she's on Twitter. She listens to the program. But when you bring up the issue of food stamps, she is a bleeding heart liberal. And she is under the assumption that everybody that receives food stamps has paid taxes. And you and I both know, Jay, that there are generations upon generations that have never paid a dime in taxes. And in fact, they look forward to becoming legal so they can go sign up for government services, medical care. I have a friend that literally said, I don't like the dental care that Medicaid pays for. And I had to stop the friend and say, do you realize what you're saying? That taxpayers, they don't understand. They go to the supermarkets. They buy the most expensive stuff they can find. Because Jay, help me out. Why would you do that? Why would you go to the supermarket when you're on food stamps and buy the most expensive items of everything that you could find? Why would you do that?
I wouldn't.
Right. Most reasonable people wouldn't. They would say it's unfair to the taxpayer. But why is there a large population out there that does exactly that? Go to the supermarket and buy, since it's on us to pay for it, and they buy the most expensive products they can find. Why is that?
I don't even do that, and I have a job.
Right. Well, those of us with a job are not going to do that because we're responsible. Jay, thank you for the wonderful call. And I'm looking, and I really think that President Trump has Ilhan Omar rattled because now, when you got her, she doesn't want to talk about the marriage to her brother, right? And so now she's saying that President Trump is losing it. He's always been racist, a bigot. Lady, and she says he called African nations assholes, right? Well, many of them are, if we're being honest. And two, lady, you shouldn't even be here. And you got the nerve to talk against the president of these United States of America? I don't think so. Let's see here. Let's go to Tim, line 3 in Connecticut. Tim, what's on your mind?
Yeah, I wanted to get your opinion on Trump being condemned for criticizing Somalians when it's only a small group of them that are doing any harm, and yet quite often whites are blamed for being racist and slave owners when only a very few % of us even own slaves.
Tim, I don't think you really want my honest answer on that because my honest answer is get out. Get out. If you don't like it, go back to Somalia. Good luck with that. Hopefully you don't catch a bullet in the head. Get out. If it's so bad, if it's so miserable here, get out. You can't live here and pimp and steal money and get food stamps and everything else, and then you want to criticize this country. It doesn't work that way. President Trump, and I got to take a break, so thank you for the wonderful call. President Trump is dead on accurate, as he often is. He's calling a spade, and Ilhan Omar, your 15 minutes are up. Time for a break. We are coming right back.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
Looking for financial insights you can trust?
How do you protect yourself as an investor? What's the strategy?
I think it's really simple. I think you just want to be diversified in your portfolio.
The Payne family brings real-world experience to every conversation.
Well, I think that's the problem right now is, right, a lot of people that are close to retirement, they're taking so much risks. And if we do get a big sell-off, it could derail their retirement.
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.